I prefer expressing milk for my little girl between 2 and 4 in the morning, but today I was really super tired, and as a result of that, I thought, you know what, we will make this work later. I just finished off expressing now. I did mainly hand expressing, which is something that I've talked about openly, and I have a video that I share about that, and I have about 120 ml that I've expressed for my little girl. In the process of doing this, I thought to talk a little bit about breast milk, because obviously that's the journey that I'm on at the moment. I have a 10-week-old, and as I'm going through this process again, I'm thinking of documenting my process and things like that. So it might be helpful to a sister out there, because I've had some people reaching out to ask for some advice, and hence the reason why I'm sharing what I'm sharing. When it comes to breast milk, I really want to talk a little bit about the advantages of breast milk, and it's not necessarily breastfeeding, because you can still give your child breast milk without breastfeeding. There are different ways in which you can get breast milk. You can get from a donor, and this is something I'll talk about maybe a little bit later on. And of course, you have to ensure that the donor that you get is more somebody who is certified. It's through a medical institution, because then they have to test the milk to ensure that there is no contamination, there's no infections and things like that. And so when you have the breast milk, you can as well be able to give this to your child, and I'm more interested in talking about the breast milk rather than breastfeeding. If you are not able to get breast milk for your child, this is not a condemnation. There is no condemnation on this channel. There is no way in which you're going to say to you the right or the wrong way of feeding your child, because there's something you must have discussed with medical people, and there will be a good reason why you might not be able to give breast milk to your child. And the most important thing is that as long as the child is fed, that's what matters. And so once that's out of the way, a student of mine did some projects last couple of years ago about the importance of breast milk. Breast milk has got many different aspects. In particular, breast milk has what is called the human milk oligosaccharide. These is sugars that are only available in breast milk. There's been some work to try and replicate them in the lab, but so far it hasn't been particularly very successful, because they are very unique sugars, between 3 to 10 chain lengths of these sugars. These sugars, once they get to the gut of an infant, they are broken down into what are known as the short chain fatty acids, such as butyrate, and these short chain fatty acids can help with harvesting of energy, and these can help particularly when it comes to later in life. There's research that has shown breastfed children tend to have a leaner body mass compared to the non-breastfed counterparts. Breast milk as well, especially the first few days of life, contains antibodies, which can be really good, because they will be helpful to the child whose immune system is not very well developed, so they can be able to provide some immunity to your baby when particularly you give them colostrum. Of course, again, breast milk has got the right balance of all the protein, the fat, the sugars that are needed. It might have a little bit more quicker digestibility, and hence the reason why if you have a breastfed child, you tend to feed more frequent compared to a formula-fed child, but it's still the proportion of everything that is needed to feed the baby is there. So if you are able to, again, as I say, to breastfeed or to give breast milk to a child, leave alone the breastfeeding, that can be really useful. Again, these are things that it will be useful to go back and just try to see what are some of the advantages. As I've said, there are those human milk oligosaccharides. There are some antibodies within the breast milk. There is some, of course, again, different aspects that can be really useful to the baby as they are being breastfed. So I'm talking much more about this at the moment because obviously I'm in a journey. As I said, I'm at the moment breastfeeding, and hence why I'm sharing this information, because I teach this on a day-to-day basis, and of course I want to document this and hence also learn together with you guys the reason as to why I'm sharing, so that I don't make this an overly long recording. I would love to stop it at this moment, but I'll be coming back again and sharing other things. If you come to this channel to learn something different and then you came across breastfeeding, you might be wondering, why is she talking about this? Because obviously I would love to be an all-rounded person to talk talk about nutrition throughout the lifespan and not just concentrating on one aspect only. And of course, I want to continue to just say thank you to all of you. Continue to like, to share, to subscribe on this channel. I hope you can do that again, because I have this journey that I'm on, and I would love to share it with as many as you as possible, so that we can learn together as we look after our baby as they grow old.